Okay, welcome everybody to another episode of Spectacular. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit, mostly shit. And I am one of your hosts, Brandon, and of course I am joined by my best friend, Mike.
That is what people call me most of the time.
Yes, people that are your friends.
Yes.
The people that don't like you, you have your name is...
Hey, you in the bushes.
Yeah. Hey there with the camera. Get out of here.
Excuse me, sir. Are those mirrors on your shoes?
And we are reviewing the movie.
I'm in the men's locker room, by the way. When
That's fine. That's not, I mean, I would have expected nothing less. Today, we are reviewing the movie, which some people may call as Jagten, if you're Danish. But for us here, uncivilized people, it is called The Hunt.
In America?
In America. It's from 2012. And Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this movie?
All right. The Hunt from 2012. I mean, it's kind of like my thing where I say the year, but...
It's a big hunt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Directed by Thomas Vinterberg.
Okay.
Starring one Mads Mikkelsen.
I like him a lot.
He's very good in almost everything he's in.
Did you ever see him in
I said
Hannibal?
almost, but I've only, everything. Oh, well, I don't know.
He's going to be in the new the Harry Potter The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Did you notice that in the trailer
something Dumbledore or something like that?
Well, he's the villain. He takes the place of Johnny Depp. But in the trailer and in the movie poster now, it has nothing to do with J.K. Rowling because she hates trans people apparently. So that's great that she's not on there. I could probably talk to her at this podcast about her being a fucking fuck now. But anyway, sorry. So who else is in this movie?
Let's see. We got our bro Thomas Bo Larson as Theo.
Mm-hmm. Alcoholic.
Little Annika Wetterkamp as Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Clara.
With a K.
With a K.
Clara.
Susie Vold. Actually, maybe that's German. I don't even know how the Danish pronounce.
She was the girlfriend, wasn't she?
Oh no, that's Greta.
Oh, okay, the
principal, whatever.
Yeah.
Lasse Fogelstrom. That's Marcus. That's his son.
Okay.
And then Alexandra Rapport. I didn't pronounce the T. I'm assuming it's.
Think she could be related to Michael Rappaport?
I mean, that's what I think.
Rappaport?
That's Nadja. That's his girlfriend in the movie.
Did you see him get hit by that snowball?
No.
Rappaport? Oh, it was great. Like he was doing one of his fucking selfie, like going on a tangent kind of thing, and someone hits him with a snowball. They're like, "Shut the fuck up, man. We don't care about your shit. Like, shut the fuck up." He's like, "You hit me in the fucking ear with the snowball." He's like, "Well, shut the fuck up." And I don't know if it's staged or not, but I hope it's not.
Probably, but it's still funny.
I was laughing because I like Rappaport, but at the same time I don't like Rappaport.
I do. He's funny. I mean, if he's over the top, then just turn him off. But,
Right. He's definitely mostly over the top is why I don't. Anyhow, so this...
A little synopsis. Oh, so a kindergarten teacher, played by Mads, his world collapses around him after one of his students, who has a crush on him, implies that he committed a lewd act in front of her.
Yeah.
So easy movie.
Very family friendly. It's very...
Not any serious themes or anything like that.
No, there's nothing about this movie that screams at me that's like tragic in any way.
Nope.
It's all just uplifting. Like it might even be considered spiritual, to be honest. Like that ending, like he's looking up into the light, right?
Right.
He's probably dead. It was all a dream. It's Jacob's ladder kind of thing. And it's all a dream.
It.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was getting. So this is a movie that you had chosen, and to be honest, I did not want to watch this because I knew the context of it. I was like, oh man, I don't want to see something and just get bummed out. Because here's why: I can't stand kids. Now, I can't stand kids that are kids that I don't know. Now, if it's a friend or a family member's child, sweet. But if it's some rando kid, get the fuck out of here. And something like this, which this whole thing...
You're not hanging out with them.
I understand. But this whole thing revolves around a child that was a little cranky, said some stuff that it overheard, and it just ruined this guy's life for the X amount of time that this took place in. And this isn't based on a true story or anything like that, but obviously it's probably inspired by stuff. But this whole movie just upset me.
Yeah,
because nobody believed him.
Right. So the story, as I know it, it's Thomas, the director. Some famous psychologist or psychiatrist came to him and said, "Oh, you have to read these files. Maybe there's a movie or something in there that you might find inspiration for." Never read them. Years later, he was going through the stuff, and he read a bunch of these files about people being questioned and then how they're questioned and how these things just kind of snowball into just terrible ideas that get planted in their head, I guess.
Sure.
Or, leading questions or coerced into like
Coerced, like as when we watched, what the fuck was, and then Mother, how he was basically like being led along to answer those questions by the police. I
have a little snippet here. So
Sure.
something he said. So Hunt isn't based on any individual case, but it's inspired by the ideas in them. The psychiatrist ideas were that ideas can be a virus.
THOT?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once a certain idea has about a person takes hold, it can spread like wildfire.
Right. Which it's kind of, what is that? It's like the not the herd. What is it like when you
like groupthink, like herd mentality?
Yeah, like, but you're building up like that, like piece of shit Trump. Like he'll build up that like the hatred and stuff like that, and people just go along with it. Like, yeah, and so like this one thing happens, and everybody's immediately against him. Like they don't want to hear what he says. They don't want to like. They're just taking the kid's side, which I get.
Well, it's a hard thing to be accused of,
right? And it's the unfortunate thing is this stuff happens every day to countless children, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
And
that's why it's so hard to come down on a side, because you don't want to come down on a side, because anything other than the side of the victim is you're siding with a pedophile.
Yeah.
So like, how are you supposed to?
Right.
Logically, how are you supposed to navigate that?
And that's the kind of thing you have to tackle. If you were in this situation and it was one of your like good friends, let's just don't use you and I as an example, just somebody random.
Yeah.
Like,
luckily, my best friend apparently hates children.
I loathe them. Again,
the only thing you touch a kid with would be your car when you hit them as they're walking across the street.
I would open my door just as I'm going by, like give a little pat, like pink. Again,
but yes.
Like
it's tough.
It would be, yeah. If a friend of mine was like, I saw in the news like, oh, Jason blah 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 is accused of this. I mean, I'm immediately probably going to think, okay, what do I know about this guy? Like I've known for a long, but obviously you don't know everything about them. Like there's many things that I'm sure you don't talk to me about that I don't talk to you about. But like it's just, we all have our things, right? And so it makes you think, do I really know my friend? Do I really know what they're capable of? And the sad thing about all of this is he was 100% innocent, obviously, as we know as a viewer, but nobody, even his girlfriend, he like broke up with her because he didn't think that she trusted him like in that situation. But really, I don't think
feelings were hurt, really.
Right. But I don't think that was the case. I think it was just hard for her to wrap around too. Like,
well, I'm
sure there was some doubt.
Question.
Right. And I get that. Like, that's why it's like, if I was in his position, I think, don't get me wrong, I would be upset, but I think I would want to hear what people have to ask me so I could be like, obviously you guys know who I am. Like, I didn't touch your kid. I didn't touch this kid. Like, and you would think those brothers, like if the brothers knew.
He did try to do that. He goes to Thomas's house.
Right.
Well,
didn't he get beat up?
Yeah. Well, not the one where he like pushes him against the wall. Like he has him come in and sit on the couch, and the wife's like, "What the fuck is he doing here?"
Yeah.
And he pushes him against the wall, like, "You fucking put a fucking bullet in your head if you touch my kid." So,
not to like skip ahead, but to skip ahead, like the ending of the movie, Mike and I briefly talked about it. There was an alternate ending of this movie, which is much bleaker than the one you get. Now, I kind of like the one that was originally in the movie because I think it has a little more.
Well, let's say that for a second.
Okay.
So he works for this kindergarten.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. He used to be a regular teacher.
Sure.
And then they're closed. So the next closest thing that he can get was a kindergarten teacher.
Right. And I don't even know if he's a teacher. Like, he seems like he's more of an aide or something like that.
Yeah.
But, they never actually show them. Well, I haven't been to kindergarten in, I don't know, 30 years.
Right.
So I don't know how much learning, or it's mostly eating paste and taking naps and shit.
Was it implied that his ex-wife was embarrassed that he was a kindergarten aide?
I think it's one of those things.
Like, he was talking to her, I think, near the beginning of the movie, and she's like, "You're a fucking kindergarten."
Well, that's one of those things that kind of just gets automatically thrust upon you when you have a job like this, where it's like this idea of masculinity. Right. And a kindergarten, or a guy working with small kids, that's not thought of as a masculine job, right?
Right.
So, like, by default, unfortunate as it is,
it's weak. You look
well, not weak. Well, yeah, that too.
Feminine, and it's you're not a man.
But like, there's already suspect like hoist or thrown upon you. Like, why does this guy want to work with little kids? You know what I'm saying?
Sure. But like, if you look at it, I mean, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
But like,
it's always just like a side eye look that people are giving.
I don't know, because the way I would look at it with somebody teaching like children and stuff like that, like a man or a woman, like I don't have any of ill will towards somebody, like not ill will, I'm sorry. I don't have any of those like negative thoughts like that about somebody, especially a man like teaching children, because I see that this person, I mean, I know there's many out there, unfortunately, but like as an educator, they want to help the youth. They want to again educate them and hopefully be a part of their lives later on, that they can remember, like, hey, remember when Mr. Schultz like taught us this, like he really sculpted me into this person. But yes, there is the other aspect of it that I'm sure there's plenty of people that are involved in schools that are pervy, that are creepy and pedophiles. And I mean, I'm sure we see those kind of things every day. You even look at like a lot of women are sleeping with like the male students and stuff like that too. I would hope that when someone's getting into that kind of field, they're not a person like that, but I know it's out there and it fucking sucks. So I can understand why someone might have a little bit of doubt for some. I mean, Mads has got to be what, in his 40s in this movie at least,
Sure.
and with a bunch of little kids that are 5, give or take, like it could be a little. But if knowing his background, if he came from another school, like he was like maybe a 5th grade teacher, 6th grade teacher, or something like that, and got shut down.
I mean, that's kind of the thing about the movie too. Like everything is hunky dory. Like these are like that. This movie starts with like just the best bros being bros.
Yeah. Just,
Like,
what was the skinny dipping thing?
dipping in the river.
What was the point of that?
Or the lake, whatever. You know, I don't
like
know.
it was just a bunch of dudes hanging out, right? It was a bunch of best friends.
Well, they had like their whole thing that they do with the handing over of the guns and going hunting
Right.
together. It's like a whole little community society thing that they do.
The
But that's the thing. Like how quickly people can just
turn.
on each other. Like one
No,
little
that's
little
society.
nugget.
That's fucking society at this point. Like especially with social media now too. Like all it takes is one person to post one thing, and someone's life is like, once it's on Google, it's always on Google. Like it's just gonna be there, or some way, shape, or form. And I mean, it's shitty. It's problematic. That's why even with stuff that we've done, like video wise, like for man beasts and stuff like that, I mean, that's always going to be there no matter what. Even if I delete it all, it's still somewhere. And yeah, I mean, I'm proud of man beasts in a sense, but still, like some of that stuff that we wrote in there, not exactly PC. But either way, yeah, how quickly. I mean, I'm sure you, or I'm probably more me, like after reading something and having a completely different like feeling towards somebody, whether it's a celebrity or like an athlete or something like that, something can be taken out of context and it's like, oh, that piece of shit, and then you find out the whole quote, it's like, all right, he's okay. Like how quickly we can just do that, how we're capable of doing that, and to judge somebody, and that's not really fair, but that is the society that we live in.
I mean, it's literally, you know, just irrational hate towards what I'm like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I don't know. I don't want to think of like
who wants to side
like,
on a pedophile side? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who wants to be that person? Be like, no. Like let's listen to Mad. What's his name in this fucking movie?
Lucas.
No. Like let's listen to Lucas. I'm sure there is. I mean, I know there were people in the movie that were like, oh, you know, supporting him. Like they believed him. But like to be known as that person when you have a whole town against him, and then to be known as that one family that believes in him, I'm sure your life can get turned into shit too. Ugh. Yeah. This whole movie just made me upset.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's hard because even the, you know, Greta at the school. I'm assuming that's, I can't remember how.
I think it was. Okay. Yeah. Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah. You know,
Greta,
when she's not stealing music from
Led Zeppelin. Yeah. Or she's not speaking out about like global warming and stuff.
Did they do that too?
No, but isn't that one girl?
Greta Thurb. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I just saw Bjork in concert, and she had a whole video with her in it.
Them together, like Bork and
no, she just had like a little, like the intermission little speech that she said. You know, the environment.
Were you in general admission with that? Were you like in a pit?
No, in seats.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about that. Yeah, I wasn't invited. Sorry. So what are you saying? I'm sorry.
It's like because Greta, you know, it's not her fault. Like she's trying to do the right thing, right?
I agree.
But like, you're biased.
She really should have went to him first.
Yeah.
She did not. She just.
Well, it's funny. Like she calls in that dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's not I don't know what the fuck that guy is.
Third party.
Even like the synopses always say like, oh, it's just some fucking her acquaintance. Mm-hmm. Like he's not a doctor, he's not anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like
it's like Dr. Phil. He's
like
not.
That,
he's not a. He's
yeah,
not a
that
doctor.
Fucking guy doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I mean, it's crystal clear. We know what happened. Like, wait, no, you're just leading this little girl into answering the questions
Correct.
that you wanted to hear, like over and over and over again, until she says what you want her
And
to
then she even said at least twice in the movie where no, nothing happened, but like nobody believed her at that time. And you're right, like to really,
but it does happen because like it can be embarrassing. Like it can be, you know,
Yeah.
you can kids are kids. Like they can think they're gonna get in trouble, so they don't want to.
and how do you even approach that subject? Like if I was Greta and then you're Lucas, and I walk up to you, I'm like, hey, so like Clara was like talking about your.
Well, that's
dick.
the thing. Like she couldn't even tell him who it was. Or
Okay, that's
what
valid.
happened. Yeah.
Hey, there was a child that was talking about your rod being straight and stuff. Like, you know, I just want to talk to you first.
I
Clear
would have
the
been like,
air.
well, joke's on them because my shit's tiny.
My thing,
Pieces.
not only tiny,
Peace.
it's curved like a candy cane. So I don't know what this kid's looking at, but you got to suck it from the side. I could see that being something embarrassing to talk about with someone, but at the same time, whatever her position was, whether it's a principal.
Well, that's the thing. I think you need actual professionals that handle these situations to deal with them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just.
And that guy was not it.
That
I don't know what
fucking
he
weird as
he
fuck,
thought
isn't
he
it?
had, but it wasn't it. Yeah, that fucking asshole. So I mean, his whole life essentially ruined. His son comes and lives with him, loses his girlfriend, gets beat up a couple times, like rustled up, like. And as I told you, this, like watching this, the whole time I was just upset because it was a complete misunderstanding, and because of a misunderstanding, I mean, granted, at the end of this, his life's not exactly ruined anymore. I was like, oh, okay, like it didn't happen, but it still sucks. Like, imagine being branded with that. And again, in the world of social media that we have now, I mean, that guy's face would be all over the place. He would never get a job again. And it being 100% innocent, though. Something that I wrote, my very first note of this whole thing, I had actually asked Mike as we were eating food, was I had asked him, what do you think, like within a minute of watching this movie, what do you think my first note was? And he thought of Van Morrison, which is a very good thought, because I did actually think, oh, Van Morrison, like I haven't heard him in years. But no, it was a full frontal penis. And that's why I figured you chose this movie. But, right. I mean, I'm just assuming, projecting my thoughts onto you. Is that accurate?
A single shot in a movie that I hadn't seen.
I thought you had heard, right? Wow. I thought, no? Yeah. Okay. Like you're on Mr. Skin and you found out that this guy's dick is showing. But no, it was the penis. But after that moment, I was laughing and I never laughed again at this movie. Like, I just...
I mean, there's a dead dog in it. Like,
yeah,
it hits all.
That
the
dog
notes.
did nothing wrong. That dog. Although I did like when they would say, Kirsten, the ex-wife, whatever her name was. Whenever they said it, the dog would fucking bark. Yeah. So it made me think of Young Frankenstein. Yeah. Like when they say Frau Blucher, and the horses would fucking like anywhere. Whenever they said her name, you'd hear it in the background. It was great. So what about this movie? What made you want to watch this movie? Did you hear something good about it?
Yeah, I heard it was good. I think it was nominated for Best Foreign Language Film, and I just never got around to watching it. So
I think you're accurate.
And it was streaming, so I'm like, okay, cool.
I think it was the first Danish movie to be nominated for something. I don't remember exactly what it was. You know, we should have done research. Yeah.
I didn't say it was first or whatever. I just said it got nominated for Best Picture.
That's valid, but...
You brought it up. You know, everything's a race.
Yeah, I brought it up because I just wanted to know why you would suggest this.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's do some push-ups. Let's see who does more. And the winner is not a pedophile. So let's take that.
It's so facto. You like kids because you can't do more than 10 push-ups. But so besides not hearing this movie is good, did you actually think this movie is good?
Yeah, it's powerful. Mads is good.
Mads has always been good.
Yeah.
Like, what's that snow movie he was in? There was a movie that he did somewhat recently in the snow, and I saw like 3/4 of it. I was like, fuck yeah. Because...
Oh, it's James Bond.
There it is. Yeah. It was a Casino Royale.
Yeah,
he's out in the snow. Yeah, it was after the ball torture scene. Yeah. That would fucking... I feel like that's got to be the worst. To have a lead ball that's got to be maybe 2 pounds just swung around and hit right into your testicles. Like... Ugh. Anyway, so this movie, I personally, in watching it, I've said it a couple times now, it made me upset.
Uh-huh. You know what it reminded me of? I'm sorry, go ahead and finish that.
I was just going to say it made me upset just because of how this can easily happen. And how a child's words, it doesn't have to even be a child, like people can falsely accuse people of anything. But like just a kid being just a little cranky and saying this stuff, and then again his whole world sits upside down.
Well, she had a little crush on him.
Right.
And then she felt bad.
She felt like, what's it, like not disheveled, dejected. Because he's like, hey, like, you gotta, I'm an adult. Like, you just kiss me on the lips. Like, give this note to one of your... She's like, you're lying. Like, I didn't do that. Which I thought that was she. Okay, so I'm gonna ask this question. So was she a normal child, or did there seem to be something a little off about her? Because when we first met her, she had to look at the lines to know where she was.
That's a kid's thing. Like I did
I
that.
never got lost.
Um,
At first I thought I wrote the note of, is this kid a little off? Not to say like, special needs per se, but just, something seemed a little off. But then she was having normal conversations and stuff later, so I was like, maybe she's fine. But
well, I think it seems like she's kind of lonely because her parents are always arguing at
That's
the
valid.
house.
That's
so
valid.
She, you need to kind of fall into your world of imagination if the world you're in is kind of bleak.
Were they talking about divorce and stuff? Because they were arguing a lot.
Yeah. I don't remember what the subtitle
So I
said.
thought I heard him say like we had an agreement or something, but it might have just been something about the kids.
I think it's she hates his fake beard. That's what.
That was very fake. So that guy, Thomas or whatever his name is, I had read a thing that he was, at the time, a raging alcoholic.
Uh-huh.
And there's many times in scenes where his beard wouldn't stay up and he would just keep going. So it just kind of like, and it would fall down and he would just kind of keep going through the scenes.
I don't know why they would put that on.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Like, why do you need it?
Maybe he had it at some point and they filmed some of the movie. And then they're like, fuck, like we got.
I don't know. It looked fucking fake the whole fucking
Oh,
movie.
no, it did. But I'm just saying, like, maybe they cut those scenes out and like, well, let's just leave it.
What is her name?
Greta.
Kate Mara in
Fantastic Four.
where like they cut her hair or something.
No, so her hair was so her hair was real. Everything was principal photography was all done. They fired the director and what's his name? So whoever came in to do reshoots. They're like, well, we need to do this, and she had already cut her hair for whatever movie she did, and so she had to wear that wig. That was bad. That was really. Did you ever see like You probably didn't. See, I know you don't like these shitty movies. It was like Kung Fu Samurai or something like that, or Samurai. I think it was Samurai Cop. The guy had long black hair, and then they finished principal photography, and then like 2 months later or whatever, they had to come back do just a couple things. He already cut his hair for another role, so they put a wig on him, but then they like just tied it up in a bun, and it looks so fucking bad. Like, I don't know if movie people think that we're stupid as viewers, but you can tell, and that beard looked pretty bad. Like it's like something that we would use and something that we made.
He looked like Will Ferrell in the SNL skits where he's in the hot tub with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
And Rachel Dratch.
What is it?
Hello,
What's his name? Yeah. Hello, David. David, come back.
Yeah.
We made love at the beat of the drum. Yeah, and she's like giggling on the side. I love seeing characters break.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
It's the best. Like Ryan Gosling when he was breaking during SN. Oh, Ryan Gosling.
When he's in every fucking skit.
Yeah, he was pretty much Jimmy Fallon, but the celebrity guest. You know who was actually quite good, and that was, I think we talked about it a little, was Chance the Rapper. He was pretty good on SNL. There was Adam Driver. It was pretty good too. Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything that he's done as bad except for the zombie movie.
Oh, the one you hate.
Oh, fucking, I hate you, sister, for fucking making us go watch that asshole. Because my sister loves Adam Driver, and he's great. He is. But that movie, I remember, I had texted you saying we're going to go see it. And then by the time the movie started, you had texted me back, so I didn't see my phone. You're like, oh, you're not going to like that. Because who was the director? What was that called?
Jim Jarmusch.
Was it Before You're Dead or whatever?
I don't remember the name.
Okay. But like,
I think we've already talked about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Like it had you had Bill Murray. You had Chloe Sevigny. I don't know, how do you pronounce her last name?
Chloe Sevigny.
Adam Driver.
Isn't Tilda Swinton in it too?
Yeah. Selena Gomez. So-and-so, what's their face? Yeah. But after maybe 20 minutes, I was like, this is not good. And what is that guy, the director, known for? Like just being shitty?
Not just weird Broken Flowers and...
I never saw that one.
Okay.
Did you see Broken Flowers? Mm-hmm. That was Bill Murray, right?
Yeah. Good movie. Slow and contemplative, I guess.
I don't like to contemplate life when I watch stuff. I want to just be...
Escape.
Yeah, I don't want to live my life. Jesus, take the wheel as I choose my movies. So what else can you tell us about this movie that you enjoyed or that you liked besides the pedophilia?
So it kept reminding me of other things that make me angry.
Like pedophilia?
Yeah. Do you remember that movie? Oh my God, I think it's Changeling.
With Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
With a kid? Like the kid's gone?
She gets put in the mental institution.
Yeah,
and
because
just-
she thinks she's full of shit, and
like around every turn, like you can't.
you think there's progress.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, insane asylum. Oh, we think,
Yeah.
Wasn't there a part in the movie where she had a guy that was like, I know what's going on with your kid, and then, fuck, I saw that movie though.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but just the feeling of frustration is just like, it's palpable. Like you're clenching your fist, like, come on, dude, what the fuck are you?
She's right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So like in this movie, all that stuff's going on when Greta says like, oh, kids never lie about that sort of thing. Like, it's all kids do is lie.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the good things too, where it's, at least for me, like, I don't hold any ill will towards the kid in this. Like, it's all the adults making the terrible decisions and snap judgments.
Sure.
That's the most frustrating part for me.
I don't know. Like, I would have. This is still part of Clara's fault. I know. I understand though.
Yeah,
she's a
but
kid. I get it. She's a kid. She doesn't really know any better. She doesn't have that critical thinking, that thought to really thinking like maybe I shouldn't do this because she's just a child. She hasn't developed like that yet. So I get that. But realistically, it is still at the core her fault. But you're still right though.
Yeah,
that parents, the people should not have like as quickly as they did. Just
yeah, but if like a fucking kid finds his dad's gun and shoots his brother, like yes, technically it's the kid's fault, but who's to blame is the parents for not putting their gun away properly. You know what I'm saying?
Also giving the kid more ammunition. Oh, you're gonna go out and shoot today, Timmy? Here you go.
Well, he didn't have to give him those armored piercing bullets. Either. Like that was
armor piercing hollow point.
Yeah,
yeah, and he also has the X-ray scope so he can see through walls and shit to know where people are. Yeah,
you really need spent uranium rounds on. Okay, that's fine.
So you only have to shoot their foot, Timmy, and it doesn't. The bullet does the rest. You don't have to kill them. You could just maim them, and they're still gonna die.
If you put the apple in his mouth, have him turn sideways. Don't shoot straight through. But how's a kid supposed to know that?
Yeah, it's like when they put the apple on top of the head.
Yeah,
because then obviously you miss, you go right through their skull, so there's no witnesses. Yeah, it is the adult's fault 100% as well, but it still starts with Clara.
Right. It also reminded me of Making a Murderer.
Never saw it. Wow. I know, it's like 2 seasons, right? The guy's still in jail. That's all I know. So why do I need to watch it?
So like the thing with Steve, that's the main guy, right? I don't know where I land on that, if he did it or not. It's been years since that came out, so I don't remember. The one that always affects me though is his nephew, Brendan, who I think is probably on the spectrum, in the show you can
Didn't
tell.
they coerce him too?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. Like, he's talking to the cops and they just break him down to not like just signing like a false confession and shit like that. Like, that's the stuff that's the most frustrating, Like, people that should know better but are just still taking advantage for, I don't know, whatever reason.
You want to get that collar.
Right.
Yeah. And stuff like this, I mean, is easily, not easily, but it's avoidable because if you just have that conversation with somebody and not going in there biased, not going in there with the understanding of like, oh, this guy's just a pedophile, like whatever, we just got to talk to him anyway. Like to go in there assuming he's innocent, like he was, a lot of this could have been avoided. Yeah. But the fact is, it wasn't because you told one person, and then those people told probably more people, and it got around the whole fucking town before there's really ever any kind of like trial or any kind of like, hey, let's listen to what he has to say.
Right.
It's just like we're going based on this kid. And what I'm going to go back on about this movie is this is a very uplifting film. Like now I know don't ever talk to kids.
Mm-hmm. Don't ever look at them.
Yeah, don't look at them. Don't be around them. If I am around them, just walk the other direction.
If anything, you should speed through school zones so you're around kids less. It's pretty good. I mean, you didn't give me any props for the bill, but
I didn't. Yeah, you guessed literally the exact number of the bill, not the cents, but you had the whole dollar amount, which is good enough as is.
It's fine.
Yeah,
no, people don't appreciate me. It's fine.
No, we don't.
So if I can mention another movie, it remind me of.
Sure.
Like I said, and they're not similar. I guess similar in themes because it's about molestation, shit like that. Did you ever see Capturing the Freedmans? The documentary?
No.
Okay, so there's a.
I don't watch many documentaries.
Okay.
Capturing the Freedmans.
There's this guy who does like computer classes. They come over their house with a bunch of kids. I think somehow like some child pornography gets intercepted. That was meant for him, and then a whole thing goes down, and then a bunch of the kids say,
"Yeah, I said
him and his son
two
assaulted."
Guys, okay. Yeah, 2 guys are involved, and with damn it, I closed it because I didn't. Okay,
right.
I'll just read the synopsis.
But one of the things that, and like I said, it's been years since I've seen it too, but I think like it kind of goes crazy like in this movie. So what happens is Lucas gets arrested, at least questioned by the police, right?
Right.
And a bunch of kids come forward and say like, oh, he molested us too, right? And they have the matching story where, oh, they named his basement down to the T, to the tiniest detail, except for the fact that Lucas doesn't even have a basement. That's why he was able to go free. I want to say in the Friedmans, like once they get all the kids to like say what happened, like it's like some crazy like sex dungeon that he like traps him in and chains him up and stuff like that. Like everything just gets crazy, just overblown.
So I hate kids.
Right. But it's not that, it's like every adult and everything involved that gets crazy. Although I think in the Friedmans, everyone's in jail and he probably did some stuff, but
the synopsis of the Friedmans
right.
is, while preparing a documentary about children's birthday party entertainers, filmmaker Andrew Jarecki learned that one of his subjects, professional clown David Friedman, was the son and brother of two men who had been convicted of child sexual abuse in high-profile 1980s criminal trial. Using home videos made by Friedman family before and during the trial, as well as new interviews, Jarecki explores the conflicting stories of the accused, the alleged victims, and the investigators.
Like I said, so everything, I mean, you can imagine like a situation like this because it's so like, how do you find the truth in these situations?
Right. And that's the problem. That's where the problem lies, is that it's coming from a bunch of fucking wiener kids. And
no, that's not, they're the victims or potential victims.
Yeah, but using Lucas as an example, those kids came forward to say, yeah, his basement. And it's like, that doesn't exist. So what happens to those kids?
But that's because nothing. Greta goes in uninformed and says, hey, look for any of these symptoms. If they have any of these, they were probably molested. Like kids are going through a bunch of stuff. Like, you can't just say that because it plants the seed of overreaction. Like, if you ever watch any like medical shows, like they always talk about like, oh, like on Scrubs, they're like, this is before COVID when it actually happened, but before when there was like a scare about some virus coming, all of a sudden their waiting room would fill up because people think like, oh, I have a little tickle in my throat. I must have it. Like it just leads to the hysteria. Like that's the part that has to be controlled.
Have you ever had any of those days? COVID wise? Oh man,
I don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks.
Don't Fred Durst me.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah. I fucking hate Limp Bizkit.
I always do it the night before. I'm like, oh, I got something coming on. Oh boy, I'm going to call into work tomorrow. And the next morning I wake up fine. I'm like, okay, never mind. I don't have to do anything.
There's times I'll wake up and have a splitting headache, but it's only because I didn't hydrate after basketball and stuff like that, or hydrate enough, I should say. So I wake up, go to 7-Leaves, get a little jasmine milk tea, get that sugar curve, and I'm fine. In most cases. But there have been a few nights where I'm like, oh my God, am I having trouble breathing? Like, what's happening? But
that's the thing. Like, it leads to like, even in yourself, and you have to like control it. But when you have a fucking entire town of people doing it, then it's easy just to go with the flow.
It's such a small town. There's probably only like 300 people.
Start fucking swinging.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I mean, but that's the thing about the movie too. Like, makes you think about yourself to like sympathizing with somebody accused of something like this. Like, this movie is easy in the regard that, or in the sense that we know that he didn't do anything, right?
Right.
And the director said himself, like, they didn't want to make a thriller. Like, you don't want to be like questioning the whole time in the movie, like, oh, did he or didn't he? That's not the movie they're trying to make.
It's clear he did not.
It's clear he did not. But like, fuck, man, like, it's like you're sympathizing with somebody, like it's interesting.
Right. So you're literally sympathizing with somebody that was accused of being a pedophile.
Right.
But yet again, as the viewer, as I said earlier, like, we know
it's easy because he's not. But
but it's still this to witness what he's going through when he knows he's innocent. We know he's innocent, and like you said too about other movies, it is frustrating because like any chance he has to prove his innocence, which he even did with those fucking kids, like there's still that doubt that they have, and having doubt on somebody is just as bad as even not knowing whether someone's innocent or not. Just having that little like, could he have done this?
Well, that's why I think the ending is so interesting. So he gets out of jail. Like, they didn't charge him with anything, right? Because they don't have the evidence isn't there. Thomas, the dad, realizes that he's innocent. He talks to his daughter, and she says like, oh, it was a big mistake. And he believes her.
Yeah.
So the end of the movie, which I thought was interesting, and I thought there was going to be a little twist, because the end is almost bright, sunshiny. Everything is good. He's back with the girlfriend. His son's with him. They're doing the rifle
Hunting?
ceremony hunting thing. And then he gets shot at by someone we don't know because we can't see their face. And that's like that little bit of like lingering doubt. Knowing that this is something that's just going to always like weigh on his shoulders,
Right.
or stuff like that.
He's always going to kind of look over his shoulder.
Actually, did you think it's real, or do you think that's part of his imagination? What do you think?
There was never a part in the movie where he had an imagination like that. Like, there's never anything where he was like, there was never a reason for me to think that it was like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Like that his imagination was like not necessarily playing tricks on him or something like that. It's not that kind of movie. Like psychological.
It's not symbolic. It's not symbolic of that. It's
I think that was someone that was just doing that. Someone that still doesn't trust it. Someone that, or I mean, who knows? Could have been Thomas or whatever.
Or the son. You hear that theory where he actually is a pedophile and it's Thomas's son that was.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, because he taught his son first, right?
Yeah. Or at least worked at his brother's school. So
right.
And like every time the son looks at him, he's like scowling or something like that. That's
valid. I don't remember a lot of the scowling. I remember the kid not really caring when he was ever like there and stuff. But
everything that like Thomas, everyone's fucking name's Thomas, but the director said like, no, he's innocent. But and just like, oh, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, I do. Like
I hope it's not true, but
I like that people put spins on movies. Like people with very vivid imaginations and stuff. Like it does give a different look at the movie. But I think that person that shot at him was probably just someone from the town that just doesn't believe it, or maybe an ex-student or something like that.
Big burly guy that kept scowling at him.
Am I missing all these scowls? Where did that guy come from?
The big one. When they're
So, not to lie, whenever I had to write notes, since it's foreign, I didn't know. So I look down and I'm typing, and that would take like maybe 15 seconds. I look back up and just have to go with it.
So his son stuff, Thomas's son stuff, I didn't notice, but that big guy like looking at him when they're doing the rifle ceremony. Unless I'm missing.
Oh, near the end.
Yeah.
I think I remember that then, but I don't know if he was really scowling. Well, okay, maybe I think I remember his face.
I mean, this is kind of like the movie in a nutshell. Like this is us talking about a movie we, I don't know, literally saw
last night
within 12 hours, and we're already foggy about our memories about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know everything that happened ever in my life, so don't ever question my memory.
Is Lucas right or left-handed?
He is left-handed.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen.
You
know what I'm saying though, like
right, I get it. No, absolutely. It's like there's experiments that they would do with like students and stuff where they would have like somebody come in with a fake gun and they'd ask people like, oh, what color pants was he wearing? Or what color shirt was he wearing? So everybody had like a different idea of what it was. Now I'm sure I'm guilty of that. Like to think of like my eyes don't play tricks on me. Like I have 20/20 vision. I'm like
Go ahead, continue.
I'm like my eyes are like a hawk. But at the same time. Yeah, I'm sure there's been plenty of times where I'm like I
don't trust any fucking eyewitnesses on almost anything.
Okay.
Like if I was like,
you need conclusive, you need video footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holding, the dude
today's paper has your grandma in the background, identifying you, 2 forms of ID.
If I was like on a jury, like that would be.
Have you ever been on a jury?
No,
I haven't either. I think I've been pretty close. Did I say the time I went to the courthouse? I was like, fuck, like I got chosen. I waited the hour to get in there. I get in, I had to wait another line to get into the next room, and I get in there, and so you're going, like, you give the paper to the person, she tells you which row seat you sit at. She gets mine, she scans, she's like, I'm not finding you. And so I made a joke like, oh, that means I can leave, right? She's like, well, hold on. I was like, shit, why did I even say anything? So she checks, and she's like, oh, you got your.
They were just assembling the SWAT team in the background.
Yeah.
To take you down.
Yeah, go get your free boat in the back.
Green team go, green team go.
Yeah, but she's like, oh no, we told you like a couple weeks ago you didn't have to report. I was like, no, you didn't. Like I was told I'm in this number bracket, and she's like, no, yeah, you know you're supposed to be here. So then I just took a day off work. It was great.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, but really I could have gone to work because it was already now like 9. So I really only missed I could have only missed like an hour and a half of work.
I only did it once. I think I was off like sick a day at school, and I wasn't paying attention or something.
You?
The next day they had like parent-teacher conferences all day. So I went to school and they're like, oh, there's no school today. I'm like, this is the greatest day of my life. Because I'm up early and now I have a whole day to not masturbate.
To not masturbate. Wink, wink.
You know what I'm saying? But it's, it's almost fun.
Well,
it's a free day.
At that time, your parents weren't home, right? Like your dad was out in the field and your mom was at her job, right? So you could have went home and beat your meat all 7 hours.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I thought you're driving a car.
You hear me, Ship?
You got that fucking, what is that valve? That's the pressure valve. Pressure valve of your manual, your SRX.
Well, yeah, because I just watched 12 Angry Men again for the 400th time.
The original one?
Yeah. And it's the same thing. Like, everyone's biases.
Oh, you said 12 Angry Men. I'm sorry. I was just thinking 2 Angry Men or Angry. What is the one with Walter Matthau and
Grumpy Old Men.
Grumpy Old. That's what I thought. That's why I said the original.
Well, they're old enough to be in it, but they weren't in it. But
yeah.
But like everyone comes in there with their biases and like I can tell. Kids like that, you can just look at him and you know that he's guilty. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like that's not.
Well,
no one like that should be anywhere near a jury.
People like. So me, like a lot of times people meet me, they think I've probably smoked weed or I have smoked weed. I've never done a drug in my life, but people just assume the way I am, like how I'll be silly and like just too much energy sometimes.
All that Sublime you're listening to.
I hate Sublime.
It's fucking coming.
I hate Sublime.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know. That's
Sublime. What's the other? What's the one from
Cottonmouth Kings? Fucking.
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
The Dirty Heads.
Sublime is the one that was from Garden Grove, right?
Long Beach.
Okay, even more. Don't like them.
I think they had a song called Garden. I don't remember.
They're the ones that was like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun. Yeah, I can't stand them. Chili Peppers for sure. I cannot stand the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I would rather fucking. If I could, you know how I have narrow ear canals and like the wax builds up? If I could just jam more earwax in there so that I wouldn't hear the Chili Peppers, Sublime, 311, Disturbed. I was going to do the but I couldn't make it work. There's so many bands that I cannot stand. I used to hate Lightning Bolt. And I love Lightning Bolt now. Well, not now, but I've liked Lightning Bolt for a long time. Even my old friend Noah, like he's the one that first played Lightning Bolt, and I was like, "What is this shit?" And he explained us just two guys.
It's abrasive music.
It is. It's loud. It's deep with those cello chords, but it gets me going. Like if I need to get hyped up, like I listen to like Dead Cowboy or something like that, and I'm good to go. Or Assassins. But I used to hate Barr. It's Barr. Barr. The guy is basically just kind of word of mouth. He just talks
Spoken word.
Yeah. And I hated it when I first started hearing it. And then like years later, I was maybe in my late 20s and I heard something that had the guy's similar voice. So I listened to it and I was okay, this is okay now. Like I can tolerate it. I used to hate The Faint too. Or I still hate Hot Hot Heat. What am I saying? But The Faint I didn't like. But Sublime will always. Red Hot Chili Peppers always. I'm okay about. I used to not like the Foo Fighters. They're okay now. Like I like Dave Grohl enough that I'll tolerate it. Yeah, he seems like a great dude. Like. Yeah, Green Day. Ugh, I hate Green Day. I like Offspring. They are different a little bit. Nah, they're similar. Like they're punk, punky rock and roll. But Green Day especially, I cannot stand Billy Joel. Why do women still like this guy so much?
Billy Joe?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. Like people that are younger than me and you even, like that I hear, I'm like, that motherfucker's like in his 50s.
Yeah.
And you're clamming over him like, ugh, I can't. I
didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's gross. It's very gross. But not to talk about music anymore. Let's talk about, pedophilia. So clearly he was innocent. It was a misunderstanding. The girl was a little upset that she was dejected. She was dejected because she got rejected.
Oh, yeah.
There it goes. And
that's like an amazing performance by a tiny kid too.
I thought that as well.
I forget
when they were first walking.
Yeah.
Like just the conversations I had with them. Like, granted it's in Danish, but still, I was like, I like this girl. She under like her facial expressions, the way she's saying things, like it's all working. Everybody in this movie actually was great. It just makes me. No, I'm not going to talk about Peacemaker. I know I said it so many times you already, so I won't. But actually, really quick, everybody, Mike challenged me.
Jesus Christ!
Mike challenged me to listen to new music because when we're driving,
he hates all those bands, as you heard. Mm-hmm. So he only listens to like 4 other bands.
Yes. Led Zeppelin,
White Stripes.
No. White Stripes just happen to be there. I like White Stripes, but no. Okay. The general music that if you look at my Spotify, my like top 10, it was always like Run the Jewels, Logic, Led Zeppelin, Yes,
Dre.
Who? Dre?
Dr. Dre.
Oh yeah, I like rap and hip hop a lot for being a little bitch looking guy
Logic,
that I am.
Right?
Yeah, Logic. Did you know that he's biracial?
What?
Yeah, who'd have thought? Not in every song he does, he talks about being black and white. Take it back. Take it way back. Fuck. What else did I listen to? What else did you see on there? Matt and Kim came up a couple times.
Kendrick,
yeah. And but anyway, so Mike challenged me to listen to not new music, but just new to me music.
Yeah.
And so I was challenging
Well, I don't know
him.
if you have like a list. It's not written down, but maybe it's just free floating in your head. But like of stuff that you've heard is good and you've always wanted to listen to, like give it a try. You know.
I've heard that who's the opera singer?
Andre Bocelli.
There we go. I heard good things about him. Is he still around? Nah, he's dead. He's long dead. No, I'm sure I'll listen to some. Okay, so you have known me for well over 15 years. What would be something you suggested me to listen to then?
Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
Because so the other challenge of this though, Mike wanted me to listen to music, and then he said he would watch a new show.
Listen to some different rap then.
Okay.
You listen to some.
That's the thing. Like I'll put on the you know how the daily like how Spotify makes like a list for you based on what you listen to. So I think I was listening to the Run the Jewels one, and then it played. He covered Rage. Remember the what's his name?
Denzel Curry.
And I like him. He goes fucking hard too.
Fuck yeah.
But that Rage cover was really fucking good.
Real good.
It was really good. I'll listen to him. For some reason, I don't know why this name came to my head. Machine Gun Kelly. I can't stand that guy.
Okay.
But
it's so weird. Like him and Megan
Fox.
They're like, I don't need to know your business. Like I know that's the thing now, but
they're into each other. It's thinking about like Angelina Jolie, Billy Bob Thornton. 20 years ago, they were the exact same way.
Yeah,
licking each other's mouths.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, be crazy in love. Listen to Beyonce. Like, do all your stuff. Why do I know about it? And I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
Not even like, I don't have any social media. Like, I'm not saying it like that, but I literally don't.
Yeah, you don't.
But I still fucking know about it. Why the fuck do I know about it?
That's a valid question. And let me answer that question with another question. Why don't you have social media?
But, I don't know. Fuck. One of the things I noticed, it feels like it's just too late.
No.
Like, to get on the train.
It's never too late. You can always go back to college, so why can't you get social media? You know what I mean? Every now and then I think about going back, like, just to finish up. But and then I look up how much things cost still. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Well, I feel like it's too late for, like, a Facebook. Like, who needs
first
that?
and foremost, it's not called a Facebook, but I get what you mean.
It's the Facebook.
And now it's even, I don't know if it's even considered Facebook anymore, if it's Meta.
Oh, it's Meta, yeah.
But even then, you lose $200-something billion in a quarter. Like, that's a tough look. That's going to be a tough sell. And they're going hard. I mean, do you see all the commercials they had on the Super Bowl? Like, I have no desire. No, technically, again, I have a Facebook account. I have a few, but they're all deactivated. And Instagram, I don't have a personal Instagram. I don't need it, but Instagram is Facebook. But
see, why do you tell me to get an Instagram? You don't even use it.
But I use the Man-Beast. But still, at the same time, you can have your shit on there. Like, I use Man-Beast sort of as a personal one anyway. People still message you. But for the most part, the people that message me on there is because they don't have my phone number. Which it's actually 654. Yeah. It's 867-5309.
If it comes in, you call this number.
Yeah.
The 911.
I have so many emails. I have so many fake telephone numbers. Not fake, but just like Google telephone numbers. I have many websites, and just to buy them, so I have them. So down the line, if I wanted to make a short film or something like that with that name, I have it. What's $10 a year for that website? Like, who gives a shit? But that sounded like a douchebag saying that. Like, money. But I would only, if you're gonna make anything out of all the social medias out there, you technically have Reddit. I don't consider that social media. I would say Instagram, out of all of it. So you can lurk on people, talk shit like I do as is. And you can contribute to what I post for Spectacular. Oh, and really quick,
post that stuff on there. Yeah,
and really quick, everybody, you can make suggestions for movies for us to watch for Spectacular. If you go on our website, there's not a form on there, but it does have all of our social medias, and our email is spectacular@gmail.com.
I like how you're saying R to include me because you're very thoughtful.
Well, you don't do anything of anything. I not only do all the social media, and I designed our website. You literally just come here to record. That's it. Bitch, I have a Reddit for it. I have an Instagram. I have a Twitter.
If you listen carefully, guys, you can see me. You can hear me leaving the room before the recording's all the way over.
Yeah, when I actually
the music's going, you hear just a door slam. All right, Mike, talk to you.
Like, he leaves so fast, the chair is still spinning as he's leaving. Mike, and my hands like there's a smoke.
Chair has 4 legs, by the way. I don't even know how I get it to spin, but I figured it out.
Yeah, it's a stationary chair. Yeah, it's not a computer chair. Yeah, it's a wood chair with 4 legs, and somehow it spins. It spins on one leg.
Yeah,
it's just spinning up like that. Yeah, it's like a fucking ghost. So I would suggest social media and Instagram. Back to the movie though.
Yeah.
I mean, I did like it, but at the same time, it just kept me. I was just upset the whole time anyway. Well, not upset the whole time.
It's effective.
Right.
It works in that regard.
But okay. So out of all the movies we reviewed so far, would you say this is the top when it comes to made you feel away? Because me, it's Wind River no matter what.
Yeah, I think Wind River is more.
Even Hereditary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Hereditary's 1. Wind River's 2.
I think it's just because Hereditary's final like 10 minutes just fucks you hard.
Yeah.
But then Wind River, it's like the whole fucking movie fucks you hard. And even though you leave those movies like, this is great, but you still feel bad. And even though at the end of this movie, at the end of The Hunt...
what's weird? I don't feel bad at the end of Hereditary. Like, it's
really?
so outlandish and so crazy that it's just...
I wouldn't say it's crazy, but I would say... No, I know. Something like that happening... I mean, I don't believe in ghosts and stuff like that. But, like, I think you and I have talked about that, even on here. I don't believe in a ghost, but I believe in, like, an alien life, like another, like, smart being.
Yeah,
sure. But like,
I just think the universe is way too big for there not to be more.
Exactly. Not even the universe, not even our universe, just in general, like everything in whole, like not Milky Way, but I'm sure even in Milky Way, I'm sure there's
in our galaxy already.
Like there's
not counting.
We haven't explored any of the planets in our solar system really. Like Mars, 0.001%, if that 0.0001% we've explored of Mars. We've only seen exterior, got a couple samples. Anyway, I digress. But Hereditary, I did feel bad because if let's just say hypothetically, that was real. That guy's the whole family dead, and now you got a demigod or whatever the fuck he is that's gonna take over this world. What was his name again?
Paimon.
Thank you. I was gonna say Ponyo. I did say Ponyo, but
Pinocchion.
But okay, so would you say The Hunt? Is it any stronger than either one of those movies, or would you say it's like third out of those?
Why is it a competition?
It's always a competition.
It's good, and it's makes you think about yourself. You're like,
I didn't think about myself.
Okay.
Why did you think about yourself?
Because no.
Get him, guys. We got him. We got him recorded.
That's good enough. That's close to a confession, right?
Come in. Right into the windows. What were you gonna say?
Well, I just think it's so interesting. Like I said, because he is innocent,
right?
But a movie that can make
not in the terms of Law and Order,
right?
Proven innocent, like dun dun. Did you know fucking now Anthony what's from Blackish
Anderson?
Yeah, he's gonna be in the new Law and Order.
Oh, is he?
So they're bringing back the old DA, which is
Sam
Watterson, and so they have Anthony Anderson and then others. But they're bringing back the original Law and Order. I think it's because Blackish is ending, so he needed something else to probably go to. Which I mean, that's good. Anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh yeah, so I'm just kidding.
So you remember like the movie like The Woodsman with Kevin Bacon, where he was a convicted sex offender?
I have not.
Okay. Well, anyway, like hard movies like that, like they're effective because they make you like sympathize with people who maybe don't deserve your sympathy, but it's just they're human beings, and that's the side of them that you're sympathizing with. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't it in Curb? I know you didn't watch a lot of Curb, but I think there's an episode where the guy in there was, I don't know if he was a pedophile or something, but Larry liked him. And it was Rob Corddry. And he invited him to dinner, and everybody's all pissed at Larry for inviting him. He's like, what? Like, he's a nice guy. But yeah, he can't be around kids. And, oh, God, I fucking love Curb. You like that commercial, right? Where Larry David was like,
you don't need it.
Yeah. A bagel's round. At least you can eat the bagel. Oh, God, I love that guy. So, yes, movies that make you think, movies that make you have sympathy for these people, that even though they are kind of, well, obviously we know Mads isn't a bad guy, but I do like those kind of movies for you to feel that way towards technically, I guess you could say a villain, but you're right. They are still people.
Like I said, that's not this movie, but it just reminds me of situations like that.
That's
them coming to get me?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I told you, man. They're always listening, just like on your phone.
We're on the second floor, right? I can make it.
Yeah. Jump out, dive head first. Yeah. If you can't, don't put your arms out like you're diving. Just put your head out first and just go straight for the forehead. Or if you can, your spine.
Right.
So they're not going to prosecute you if you're a vegetable. I don't know if that's accurate or not. So this movie, I enjoyed it in the sense of that it bummed me out, but in also the sense that it's I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but it's like Wind River, like it's good, but it's
I think Wind River has more rewatchability.
well, Renner's a badass in that
Yeah,
movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And
just-
it's,
yeah,
so
yeah,
is Elizabeth Olsen. Elizabeth Olsen's goes fucking hard.
Yeah.
But did you see the trailer for Doctor Strange?
And yes,
I'm probably gonna like. I feel like so in the first Doctor Strange, I never saw in theaters. I saw it at home.
really?
Yeah, but I would have preferred to see it in theaters.
No, you're
now
lying. We saw it in theaters together.
there's no fucking way.
What did we see?
Not Doctor Strange. I have not seen Doctor Strange. You know what? No, I don't think so. Because I remember thinking to myself when I watched it on TV, I was like, man, I'd love to see this in theaters because to be engulfed when he's going through like the other worlds. I feel like you and I did not see that together. Okay, to be fair though, that movie came out like 10 years ago, so we might have. But okay, now I need to know when Doctor Strange came out. But anyway, the new trailer, I really want to see it.
Like we went with your dad and your sister.
This came out in 2016. This is 8 years ago. It was 6 years ago. Like I don't recall seeing it in theaters because you've been to many movies with my family, and
Yeah, I assumed this was one of them.
just because it's Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay, that's valid. I'll give you that. So let's just say hypothetically we did, and I just didn't remember. But this again, the new Doctor Strange. That's just based on the trailer. Elizabeth Olsen's going to be pretty much a bad guy, and it sounds like Patrick Stewart's definitely back. Like you hear his voice, and it's gonna be some fucking. If they show it in IMAX, I think I'd try to see it in IMAX. It's just that bigger screen where he's going through the
Multiverse.
yeah, wherever the fuck he goes. But looks pretty dog ass tight because there's at least 3 Doctor Stranges. There's ours, like our universe. There's like the Strange Supreme, which is like if you didn't watch What If, huh? Okay. Then there's like Defender Strange, and I think that's it. There might be one more, but they're all different from different universes. Universes. Anyway, okay. Well, the next movie, Mike. Next movie, I think we agreed on Stripes, or it was Stripes or Social Network, but at least Stripes first.
Sure.
Is that accurate?
That's fine.
Stripes is available on Netflix as of right now, and it should be there by the time the next episode comes out anyway, because it doesn't have anything saying like it's going to be off Netflix. What would be your final verdict for The Hunt?
Good movie. Watch it. Yes.
Would you say it was a big hunt? A big gaping hunt? How about a hunt so big that it made other hunts seem not even huntable?
You know, I try to have adult conversations.
Do you with me? Because that does not
And then you
happen.
pull something like this.
And
Totally redeem yourself.
I wish we could just do Dumb and Dumber. I would love to do Dumb and Dumber.
It would just be us quoting it the whole time and just...
Yeah, we'd be too silly.
It'd be awesome.
Just like
It's
if we
almost too much awesome for people to hear with their ear holes.
So lately, I've told you a few people that have reached out to me to say like how they enjoyed like our stuff. So it's very. I appreciate everybody sending like text back to me and stuff after you listen to the episodes, but a lot of everybody saying like they don't see the movies that we talk about, but they enjoy our banter.
Okay,
so
whatever.
I don't know. I think we have a good banter. We have obviously.
Why are we having this conversation?
I just
on
want
the
to say
show?
thank you everybody for the
right.
kind words. Mike, why don't you say thank you to those people?
Thanks, Frank, Sarah.
I don't know
George.
who are these people.
I'm listening. Our 3 listeners.
Okay. No, I hope you're going to say Jerry, George, Elaine, Cosmo, Newman. Can you name anybody else from that?
Patrick Warburton.
Putty.
I can't
That's
remember
Putty.
his name of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Putty. What was George had many bosses.
Steinbrenner.
Steinbrenner is one of them. Then you can also say Larry. Then you can also say Richard Lewis. Name more of Larry David's friends. Vince Vaughn was in it, an episode, season. The wife, Cheryl Hines, Jeff Garland. So the next episode is going to be Stripes. It stars Bill Murray and Egon. What was his real name?
Harold Ramis.
Yeah, Harold Ramis, and it's available on Netflix. So, Mike, why? Unless you have anything else you need to say.
Nah, I think we're good.
Okay, Mike, why don't you Mike, why don't you take us away?
It's a marvelous day to go hunting. Make sure you don't touch any kids. Fantabulous way to go hunting. 'Cause these stupid kids are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.